downtown Cincinnati for the reveal of the Nike Corporate Airship. We're at Hyde Park at Corporate's flagship location where they're going to be doing a closed door event for the reveal of these shoes. So let's get inside because it's about to start.
I don't know.
Oh. Doors not open?
You got it.
Oh, there we go. Where you want to sit?
Right here.
We got a little book, a little airship bag. Let's have a seat and get things going here. Little kicks of the day, you see it? The fours. Mom's got the slides. You got to get some different socks with better slides. What's going on, G?
They're my...
Yikes.
What other kind of socks would I wear with them?
Not those.
I'm sure you all have seen on social media, on the news, literally everywhere. Matt's collaboration coming out on Friday.
Hour.
Matt doesn't really like to take ownership. This man is really for the city. And for the next hour or so, he's going to talk to you all about the design, the inspiration, why you all are even here, why he wanted to bring in the community, etc. So there's only 50 people from the community that are actually going to be able to come in and see the space before we release on Friday. So without further ado, the man of the hour, Matt, come on, Matt.
Tonight, first off, I want to thank everybody that's here because there's some people in this room that have been with me since I was 16. You guys are the people that have seen me grow up, and you guys have been the ones that I've been talking about all day. And I'm like, man, these are the people that pat me on the back when I need, you know, some extra motivation, or, you know, drop me a DM when, you know, I'm not right, you know? Like last year, you guys are the ones that got me through Rebellion there. Like, you know, obviously had a big loss right before we did Rebellion there, and you guys were the ones that were like, yo, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. After Rebellion there, right, while I'm sitting here like, man, I can't let this moment pass me by, you guys were the ones that were like, man, what's next, right? So when you guys start asking what's next, it just fires me right back up. It gets me to that point where I'm like, I'm really about to send this email to like my Jordan rep at 2 in the morning because I can't sleep, or because I'm really feeling like, hey, you know, I'm not trying to go back home by myself, and you guys are always ready for what's next, right? So my duty as a shop owner is not just to, you know, put whatever shoe I want on the shelf, it's whatever you guys want on the shelf, right? And obviously with Jordan Brand, you guys know, like, we're top tier. And we hold down Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Dayton now. And that's because you guys. Yeah. Like, this project, you know, in the beginning, everybody was trying to relate it to our 15-year anniversary. And it had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with the community and the people that got us here. So, you know, I'm gonna tonight tell you guys kind of how we got started again. I'm fortunate enough to have pretty much an open invite to Nike campus whenever I want to go, and I took advantage. I started going pretty much every 6 weeks for the last year. Like, I was out in Portland, I was hanging out, you know, on campus trying to figure out like what was next, right? And then I say probably, I want to say May, it was right after Mother's Day. We get a call, and you know, this is like them calling us back, and you know, it's like that call that you're waiting on. I was standing in the back of the shop here where I have a desk, and they were like, hey, you ready to do some more work? And I was like, yeah, I ain't got nothing going on, like let's do this. So they bring us in on the Airship, which I see, you know, a lot of you guys wearing in different colors. You know, they rolled out the plan. They were like, hey, you know, you'll be one of, I think it was like six to eight retailers that will roll out the Airship. Now the Airship, like the bags that you guys have, it talks about, this was the Jordan before the Jordan 1. This was the one that, you know, MJ only played a handful of games in. And if you guys have seen Air, you know, it was the one that kind of got slept on, right? Like, they were ready to talk about Jordan 1, but Jordan Brand was like, hey, we're gonna tell this story from our lens. We're gonna go after the people in the neighborhood, and we're gonna reignite this thing. And I mean, the colors were rolling. White, orange, sold out. White, yellow, sold out. White, green, sold out. That was the first phase of this. Now, what I kept from even the team was we were doing our own colorway. And we had the opportunity on the first call. They were like, hey, we'll have some ideas kind of, you know, mocked up for you. I was like, cool. So I go to the meeting, the first meeting, and this is the thing. At this time, we're transitioning from everything being Zoom to like, all right, what day is the meeting? I'm downstairs in the lobby. They didn't even know I was coming. Like, I just flew out there and I would just be like, yeah, I don't want to do this on Zoom. I want to be here in person. And, you know, at first they were like, yeah, you crazy. Like, you don't have to do that. I was like, nah, like, that's the commitment I want to, you know, bring to the table of working on this project with you guys. So we go in the room and it's almost like you're just a yes man at that point because it's Jordan Brand. They work with, you know, Balvin, Khaled, Travis, all these people, right? And this is the group of designers that I'm working with. So I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's perfect. Yeah, we should do that. What happens as soon as I leave the meeting? I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that color or that. And I just didn't feel like it was right for us. Fast forward just a little bit into the summer, July. Most of y'all remember, played in the Smith League game. Biggest mistake of my summer last year because I ruptured my left Achilles. And then the next day I had to fly to Nike. And it's the summit, which has 50 retailers, minorities. It's basically everybody that's doing something in the industry. So your favorites, Meunier, Union, Undefeated, so forth, right? Anybody that you probably bought a collaboration of, they're in the room. And Don C pulls me aside. Man, G, I'm sorry about your leg, but man, you killing him. And he just is talking all this life into me. And I'm still looking like, man, is it the painkillers? Like, Don C really like, he's hyping me. Yeah, man, appreciate you, man. Like, bought all your shoes and everything. Like, you know, I'm just like I said, I ain't know if it's the painkillers or whatever. They love what we did with the community, with you guys for Rebellionaire. Again, they kept saying Rebellionaire, Rebellionaire. And little did they know that we had this airship coming. Don's words really hit me so hard that like on the flight home, I start writing down airship, airship. I don't want it to be all red. I don't want it to be denim. I don't want it to be brown, like Skyline inspired. Like, I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but every interview or whatever, there's always somebody that's like, would you ever do a Skyline chili shoe? And I'm like, no. I mean, seriously, I've been shown brown shoes with blue checks, with yellow collars. I mean, I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, we don't even eat that. We know better, right? Like, maybe not you. Sorry. Then I started thinking about Cincinnati, right? And I'm like, this is easy. I can talk about Cincinnati, and I can start to show people my passion about that. Just like I talk about the community. So I started looking at it and I was like, man, it's called the Queen City. So with the Queen City, I started thinking about royalty. And I started thinking about, what if we rebranded it? Like, what if it wasn't black and red every single time, right? That's the thing of the past, but it's brought us to the future. What if we came into the future in a new colorway? And we did it in a way that felt like how we are now. Like, we think ourselves, you know, we're better, right? Like, Cincinnati as a whole, we feel like we support each other better. We, you know, come together in unity, you know, and it was just like this whole like thought that I was like, we can do this. I was like, teal. And I started looking at what teal has done in our past of corporate. When I first opened corporate, I had a teal Corolla. You probably remember it. It was like a little car, super dark tints. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. But I realized that that car was just my favorite. You know, it was just something that I liked. And I made it look cool. Because then I started to see other people in Corollas. I'm like, that's weird. But that's what I had. And then I was like, So when we did our first logo, it was mocked up in a teal colorway. And I still have that reference. And then I started to look at like things that made me think about Cincinnati. The fountain, right? At night, the best color to me is when it's lit up in green. And I like just looking at that and I'm like, wow, like, okay, teal started to feel right. I didn't tell anybody about this. I just sat there and the next flight out, I took Dave, who's not here. This guy got lost for like 2 hours. Like, I don't know where he went, but he came back with all these shoes and he was like, I'm good. So he was happy. So we went into the meeting and we had the meeting over the Airship. The guy showed me the updated samples and I was like, nah, like I gotta be honest guys, like I'm not feeling this. And they're like, all right. They were blown away because I didn't tell any of them that I didn't like anything. Because if you remember the first meeting, I literally was telling them, yeah, that's perfect. Like, don't change anything. And then I leave the meeting and I'm like, yo, probably should have said something differently. And I go to the meeting, I look at the samples, and I'm like, okay guys, I had to change your heart. Don't kill me. I know that y'all are pretty much trying to wrap this project up. I was like, what if we went teal? And Gabe, who's not here either, he's the guy that mocks up all my CADs and everything that I do. And I was like, Gabe, we've worked on this, send it over to me. In the meeting, I had the colorist there. His name is Chris Hill. He's actually from Cincinnati as well. We're sitting in the meeting and I'm like, let me tell y'all about Cincinnati. And man, I delivered this, like, have this moment, right? Like, y'all seen Old School, the movie Old School? And Will Ferrell has that moment where he just like blacks out and he just rambles and gives the answer that nobody thought he had, and he's going crazy. That was the moment that I had. Like, I started going in. I told them about people in Cincinnati. I told them how, like, you guys have been with me since I was 15. I told them about how y'all, like, how, you know, Cincinnati is changing, how we're all coming together, we're supporting local businesses, we're still doing the things that major companies were all talking about, but we've been doing it before them. And I delivered this speech, and then they're like, okay, so what are you saying? And I was like, teal. And I just shot it out, and then we started coloring it, and we get everything teal up top. I start breaking it down into the different materials, and I was like, cool, there, finally, whew. I said corporate on the side. That's what I asked for. And then I talked about God, I'm on the back. And we did all that, and then I leave the meeting. I talked to one of the guys that was the product line manager on the project, and he is like, why didn't you just say that from the beginning? Like, and I'm a smart ass, so I said, well, I just wanted those other shoes for myself. I actually have one of each shoe from the ones that we didn't do or we're not gonna move forward with. So if you guys ever see me wearing those, like, no, I got some stuff. So, fast forward, that's September 6th. We get a sample. And Ryan, he's in the office. He's you know, at the time he was at my desk in my new office, which isn't here, thankfully. And it was just flat. Like, the whole shoe was just like flat green. And Ryan's like, Ryan is the most honest person in this room. If he doesn't like it, he's gonna tell you, and he's gonna be like, you should do this. And he always has the next answer before I can be like, well, if you don't like it, what should you do? And he knows now that, like, that's how I operate. If you don't like something, come with a solution. He's like, why don't you just outline it? And I looked at the shoe and I'm like, get out of my office. Because it was right there in front of me. And then we just started talking about what would we outline it with. And the first thing that we said was patent leather. It'll make it shine. And I was like, man, that was really easy, man. Like, so we sent in the revision. Let's see, I think it was April it came back. And I had the packaging, I had the shoe, and they've been locked away in my cabinet. And the brand, they wanted me to leak it And they were so scared, because everybody knows your shoe leaks, right? Shoes leak 6 months in advance. And they were like, man, this ain't good, your shoe ain't leaking, you should leak it. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want it this way. And my whole plan in the deck that we had, how many revisions have we done to this deck? Nah. Roughly 40 revisions, I would say, to our brand deck for the release of this shoe. And what that is basically your map, right? It's like how you're gonna position it, who you're gonna seed it to, the list of influencers that we had. And I mean, we had 40 revisions to this thing, right? And in it, I said, I'm gonna debut the shoe with my community. Well, sneaker ball, yeah, did somebody whisper that? That's pretty good. Sneaker ball, right? So August 5th, I go up, I get changed. Dubs is like, I'm like, Dubs, you gotta shoot this shoe. He does it. We leak the photo after the night because I wanted whoever was in attendance to be the first people to see this shoe. And because it starts with the community, I felt like that's how we should do this, right? You're from my community, I wanted you to understand what we're trying to accomplish. And it worked. And then the last, 3 weeks has been chaos from Trinidad James being the first person to text me after that leak. And he's like, I need these tomorrow. And I had his side, so I was like, yo, fine. Trinidad is super cool. I felt like he would move the needle. He would get people to look at it that are women and men. So the thing about the Airship in smaller sizes, they did not sell as fast as the other shoes, right? So white, yellow, white, orange, white, green. It was like the 4 through 6 were the sizes that we couldn't get rid of at first. So I knew that going into our plan, we had to make sure that it appealed to women. That's also another reason why we went teal. Ladies, does that work?
Yes.
Y'all appreciate that?
Yes.
All right, cool. Because, yeah, and not to say that anybody at Jordan Brand didn't believe in it, but you guys see what shoes are coming out for the month, right? Like we've all seen the little calendar where it's like 8 shoes, and the one that sticks out is the Airship. They were like, I don't know, but hey, you're the collaborator. So I was like, cool, let me collaborate, let me do this. And then in the last week, we've had DJ Khaled. And still, it's bad because that right there took us to a whole different level. The DMs are shattered. Like, if I've missed any of your DMs, it's over. I'm not gonna see that. So DJ Khaled wears it at the Beyonce concert. Influencer seating that we sent out went to Jay-Z, Blue Ivy, Nigel Sylvester will get his pair tomorrow. Chris Paul, Jason Tatum posting it. My boy Tony, who's in here, Tony might be in the back. He's like, yo, he doesn't post much of anything because he gets everything. And the fact that all these guys are like taking to our shoe is another sign to me that we went the right direction. So the last couple things I want to talk about are like the details, because everybody sees what it looks like on the outside. But for me, this thing got personal when we started to be able to do whatever I wanted. And the insole was the first thing that I wanted y'all to understand. So I wanted to remind anybody that wears this, whatever you're going through, it's always for you and for the city. And again, my sign off with my handwriting embroidered in the shoe. And then behind here, I've added 2 people, honoring 2 people that have seen me through this as well. One on the left shoe being my friend Ob. Aubrey was a good friend of mine. He helped me really jump out the window and be like, man, I had to get my own. Unfortunately, he passed when we were younger, but I got a chance to, thank him on this one. And then on the other, I put my dad. Again, yeah, it was tight. Because last year, you know, super sad time, but this year, we're celebrating this one, man. Like, that's what you guys earned, you know, your struggles. I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing. And again, we couldn't do this without you guys. That's as honest as it gets. Yeah, and man, this is insane to me. Like seriously, we've got Jordan Brand last year, this year, and maybe next year. And the thing that got me through everything, family, friends, community. Y'all are family, y'all are friends, and y'all are the community that I serve. Cool? Yeah. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all for being here tonight. Take a look around the room, and we hope to see y'all Friday.
At 6 in the morning?
We are going to open at 6 in the morning.
Alright, so it is Friday morning. We are at the release of the corporate airships now, the official release. We're getting in line now. There's actually more people than I thought, so I guess that's kind of a good thing. Hopefully they have what sizes we need.
Looking to have a shake up. Yeah. Then quarter.
Alright, so we just got back home. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the other cool stuff that I just noticed that they actually threw in the bag. I grabbed a pair of socks to match with the hoodie and the shoes. I don't think the color matches exactly. You can let me know what you guys think. I don't know if it's a perfect match, but it's pretty close. I did have to take the insoles out of my pair, so if you guys do end up grabbing these, or I guess any other Airship for that matter, they do fit a little bit snug, at least this one does. It's also got this sweet little coin on it that says corporate, and then it's got the Jordan logo on the other side. I'm gonna be rocking these a lot. The hoodie, just basically a regular Jordan brand hoodie, really nice quality though. And then I actually just noticed that they threw inside the bag a little mini bag, and it comes with a suede eraser and a brush, which is super fire. I didn't expect them to put that in there at all, which is super nice for a shoe like this where the majority of the shoe is suede. So if you do scuff it up, you got the eraser and you got the brush with the corporate branding on it in the teal. The wrapping paper is also super, super cool. If you don't know where this is, these shoes might not be for you, I don't know. But that is about it for the corporate Airship reveal. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed going to pick these up, learning more about the story, about the shoes and all that good stuff. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like. We have another brand new video coming to the channel this Wednesday, so make sure you're tuned in for that. It's gonna be the Sneaker Freaks Columbus video. I'm gonna be going there this Sunday. It's gonna be a great time. I will see you guys Wednesday in a brand new video. Peace.